Today, we will be talking about IELTS reading. The reading part lasts for 60 minutes. You get 40 questions, which are split into 3 sections, and questions generally get harder as you progress. The tests are slightly different for academic and general training students. Academic students get 3 longer passages and general training students get 5 or sometimes 6 shorter passages. If you're taking IELTS General, you'll have to read passages that are similar to newspapers, advertisements, handbooks, and notices. Whereas, if you're taking IELTS Academic, you'll have to read passages that are similar to newspapers, books, journals, and magazines. So the academic test will use vocabulary and sentence structures that are slightly more complex than the general test. But that's where the differences end. Both tests have 11 different reading question types. You might not get all the 11 types on the test day, but you'll get most of them. There's multiple choice, true, false, not given, yes, no, not given, match information, match headings, match features, match sentence endings, sentence completion, summary, note, table, flowchart completion, diagram, label completion, and short answer questions. Academic students need to answer 35 questions correctly for Band 8 and 39 questions for Band 9. General training students get easier passages, but they will be expected to answer more questions correctly for the same score. Basically, they need 37 correct answers for Band 8 and 40 for Band 9. Hello everyone, I'm Tisha and I got 9 in IELTS reading in both the academic and general training modules. I want to share my strategies that can help you score 9 as well. Now, let's discuss how you can answer all 40 questions in 60 minutes. In IELTS reading, you'll have a lot to read and most likely you won't even understand everything because this section demands the widest vocabulary and you have just 60 minutes, so the pressure will be high and time management is key. The official guidance says that you should spend about 20 minutes on each section, so 20, 20, 20, total 60. But the truth is that questions in the first section are the easiest and you usually need less time to answer them. And questions in the last section are the hardest and 20 minutes is most likely not enough to answer them. So you could spend about 15 minutes in the first section, 20 on the second and 25 on the third. Then you have the best chance to answer all the questions timely. If your English skills allow for it, you might even go through the test even more quickly and have some time left at the end to go back to the questions you missed and try to find those answers and to check everything. For this, you need to track the time. If you take a computer-based exam, it's not a problem. The timer will be on the screen. But if you take a paper-based exam like me, there will be a clock on the wall and you're not allowed to bring your own watch. And under all this stress, you may simply forget what time you started. So, as soon as a section starts, write down the time of your starting on the sheet and then you always know how much time is left. Invigilators are required to tell you when you have 10 minutes left and final 5 minutes left. The best strategy in IELTS reading is to start with questions. Here is what I mean. If you read the passage first and then attempt to answer questions, you're likely gonna spend too much time unnecessarily. That's because you have to read the whole passage attentively because you don't know which information you will need, and also by the time you get to the questions, you will forget little details and you'll have to go back to the text and find those bits because remembering just a general idea is not enough in IELTS reading. The good thing is that most questions come in order. So you can read the first question, then start reading the text, then find the answer, and then go and read the next question, find your answer, and so on. In this case, you save time because when you feel that your answer is not there, you can read a bit quickly and then slow down when you feel that there's the sentence or sentences which contain your answer. But some questions don't come in order. For example, matching headings. But still, you don't have to read the whole passage entirely. You can read the first paragraph first, find the answer, read the next paragraph, find the answer, and so on. This way, you always know what you need to concentrate on, and it saves time. If you're finding this video helpful so far, please like and subscribe to my channel. My next tip is don't rush. I know you have little time, but if you don't read the questions carefully or your options or sentences which contain the answers, you will make mistakes which you could easily avoid. You usually save time on reading some sentences of your text quickly because you know they don't contain your answer. But when you find the sentence which contains the answer, you should read it carefully. Reread the sentence if you need. Otherwise, you simply leave points on the table. And also, you do have to read the whole passage even though you can read some sentences quickly and some more slowly and attentively. You should read everything. Don't try to crack the test by reading the first sentence of each paragraph or just by looking for keywords in the text. Those tactics don't work in the reading section. The next tip is don't spend too much time on any single question. Some answers are really difficult to look at. If you spend too much time on a single question, you may still not find the correct answer, but you lose the ability to answer several questions that you could have answered instead. So first, go through all the questions, skipping the very hard ones, and then, if you have some time, at the end, go back to those you skipped and try to locate your answer. While taking the IELTS reading test, I mark several questions to review later, and I go back to them at the end of the test. Now I can spend much more time on these questions because I know that I have answered all the other questions already. My next tip is to use keywords correctly. These are the main words in your questions or in the options and in the text that will help you understand what this sentence is all about. So if you focus on the keywords, they help you concentrate on what information you're looking for. And in the text, they help you navigate in your long passage. But, and this is very important, don't look for the same words in your questions and in the text. IELTS reading is built in such a way that the correct answers are paraphrased. They use different words with similar meanings, and if you find the same word, then those are usually used in the incorrect options. So they are in fact traps. So instead, look for the meaning and synonyms and not for the exact word. Highlight or underline all the main names, surnames, locations, or dates. They will help you to find the information if you need to go back to the passage later. You should also cross out incorrect answers. Let's say that you have 4 options. If you eliminate at least 2, you'll be selecting between just rest of the 2 and have a better chance of guessing what the correct answer might be. Also, don't leave blanks. Answer all the questions even if you don't know a few answers. Just guess and write it down. You always have a chance to guess correctly and you don't lose any points for incorrect answers. Moreover, pay close attention to your spelling, because if you have a spelling mistake, then it's considered as an incorrect answer. Now, let's talk about transferring your answers. If you take a paper-based test, you will be selecting your answers on the question sheet first, and then you need to transfer them to the answer sheet. But you don't get any extra time to do that like in IELTS listening. So don't leave this task until the very end. When you finish the first section, transfer the answers, then finish the second section, transfer your answers, third, transfer, and only then, when you have just a few gaps left for those questions you're not certain about, then you go back and try to find those answers, and on the last minutes of the test, if you don't know, just answer according to your guess. Never try to answer on the answer sheet directly, because that will be distracting you from the task, and you need to concentrate to finish the exam timely. So don't do that during the test. Find your answers for each section, then transfer them. That will give you 1 minute break too, and then you can concentrate on the next passage. So now, let's talk about the format of your answers. You can write them in capital letters or small letters or capitalize the first letter, it doesn't matter. When you're answering true, false, not given and yes, no, not given questions, you should write the exact words stated in the question. Once again, don't forget to check your spellings. Hopefully, you found this video helpful. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Good luck with your preparation and your exam. Bye.